Sagittarius 10, the golden-haired goddess of opportunity. Glamour of success. A lot of people are really caught up in this idea that to become famous and to receive all that attention from public popularity and so on, that this is a real major achievement in life, and that everyone would want if they were offered it. Well, I wouldn't. I really don't think the price that you pay for that level of success is worth the benefit. The whole idea of success and that being measured in terms of public acclaim, public popularity, it puts the power of your own self-satisfaction in the hands of someone else, a bunch of strangers. And we all know what happens to the public when they have seen enough of their temporary hero. There will be a movement to bring that person down, to find some imperfections in their social skills or their conduct. It's the tried and tested formula. The public builds somebody up so that they can be the best example of what the public would like to be themselves, and they give them their own special 15 minutes of fame, and then they cut them down. It happens all of the time to pretty much everyone. That's the glamour. It's just not real. However, what is real is the process of moving in that direction towards something which is almost fantastic, almost beyond the realms of reality. That level of popularity, it represents something much more important and bigger than the success story itself, and it represents the ability that one has demonstrated of having a vision and maintaining a determined enthusiasm for that vision against all the odds until you've got to achieve what you set out to achieve by way of a goal. So that may or may not be represented in your particular case by the glamour of success in popularity on stage and so on. It may be something quite mundane. It might be getting into a certain institution, a university. It might be to get a certain position in life as a teacher or a businessman or a nurse or whatever is your own personal goal. And the reaching of the goal is not really the moment of success. That's actually when the motivation for furtherance is finished. So in one sense, we want to set ourselves horizons of opportunity. Opportunity exists as a vision of potential. That's pretty much what opportunity is. We see a situation and we can place upon it our sense of what could transpire with us as one of the actors in that unfolding. And then we hold our enthusiasm for that thing on it. Without the goal, we can't focus our enthusiasm consistently in a straight line. Enthusiasm is spirit. What it is, it's the having God within us, entheos. God is within us. And so it's not in a straight line. There aren't any straight lines in nature. But if we want to focus on a particular outcome, we need to put some boundaries around that enthusiasm and not have it going here, there, and everywhere, but have it channeled towards a particular goal. Now, that channeling of enthusiasm is very much more important, the channeling itself, than the goal. Because when we've learned to channel our enthusiasm, we can do that in any moment. So a situation arises in this moment, and we have to respond to it. We've never met this situation before, but here we are. We're required to respond to it. If we've learned how to channel enthusiasm, then we can treat every single event in our lives as an opportunity for furtherance towards our goal. And the only goal we can really have is self, and in particular self-expression, but the realization of self is the goal. We want to be who we are. And in order to be that all of the time, we have to learn how to express that so that we can be that when we are in our active mode. And we can remember that we have been active when we're in our passive mode, and we can plan for future activities. So we've got enthusiasm accessible at all times. Inevitably, this enthusiasm moves us towards greater abundance. And typically when we think about the word fame, we pair it together with the word fortune. Fame and fortune, very often linked together. And the idea that we can be able to command and therefore receive the attention that we need to stoke up our energy levels, to keep us enthusiastic, and turn that into some abundant form of wealth. This idea is not false, it's just distorted in our understanding. The idea is true, and the idea represents the principle that when we're filled with life force, then we know only abundance. But that abundance is not really measured in terms of dollar bills that you can bank away or jewelry or something. That's just, no, that's not. The feeling of abundance is a sense of huge well-being, that every time you look at something, everywhere your eyes look, you see something which you love and you want and you have, and it's just all there. And that could be a host of grandchildren, or dozen cars if you're a car enthusiast. It's different for us all. And it's not comparable to anyone else. There's no such thing as the richest man or the most wealthy woman in any situation. It's just nonsense, because our sense of abundance is subjective. And we have to go against a long-term spiritual teaching that abundance is the opposite of spiritual commitment. It's really not. It's the expression of it. It's the reverse of the teachings that Christians have been suffering all these thousands, hundreds of years. Material poverty is not evidence of spiritual mastery at all. However, the ability to live an austere life for a while without complaint, with having the ability equally to live a life of abundance without self-glorification. Yes, now that's a different question. Whether it's important to you or not important to you is the issue. Whether you're attached to abundance, or whether you're attached to poverty, actually, and a lot of people are in their unconscious processes. They clearly are attached to poverty and austerity and hardship. A lot of people are. And it's the attachment that's the problem. Not whether you're poor or rich, it's whether or not you're caught up in having to be one of those two things. Some people have got this idea that luck comes to us from some random source of luck giving. It's not like that. We make our own luck, of course. And it's not luck at all. It's just an unpredictable, particular response, which is a part of a generally guaranteed set of responses. So in other words, if you hold your enthusiasm in a straight line for a sustained period of time, you don't know for sure that you're going to get exactly what you set out to get. But you do know for sure that at some point you're going to get good fortune. So your luck depends upon the discipline of maintaining enthusiastic focus for a while, And then you're certain to be lucky. There are lucky people. But it's not random chance. It's a formula. The best way to go forward in life is to be protected from adversity and optimize your chances of success by taking opportunities and making them into something, is to balance yourself with a sense of emotional stability and awareness of what works in practice. Those two things. If you're never upset and also never overly excited, you're just relatively moderate in your feelings all the time, never put off center very far for very long. If you can hold that, and you always keep on top of the material world, you always do what will work. If you hold that formula, luck is guaranteed. Your life will be evidence of grasping opportunity